Welcome to this chapter. Let's discuss what we will do in this chapter. First of all, we will configure a VPS from scratch for hosting a Python Flask website. Then we will install MySQL server followed by installation of Phpmyadmin. Then we will check a real website pointing to VPS IP. After that, we will install Apache to serve the website. Later on, we will install certbot Let's Encrypt for HTTPS. Finally, down the road, we are going to check on WSGI properly configured in Apache to serve the Python Flask website in whole. Few of the terminologies may be new for newcomers or newbies, so don't worry, I'll be explaining as and when needed these terminologies during my course of video presentation. So just hop along with me and let's do all these configurations from scratch for a new VPS. First and foremost, in order to configure a VPS, we will need a few tools. The first is PuTTY or PuTTY as we call it, a SSH tool, and then we will have WinSCP, a GUI SSH tool or a file transfer agent that we can use to transfer files from local machine to remote server VPS. By local machine I mean our computer, which is a laptop or desktop, which is we call the development machine, which could be based on Windows or Mac operating systems, and server, which we call remote server as well, or VPS, is Ubuntu or Ubuntu 18.04 Linux family operating system. I am not going for using Ubuntu 20 because it's quite new and then there could be a lot of glitches or problems, whereas Ubuntu 18 is well and stable, so I am going to use Ubuntu 18.04. Once log in with the VPS provider password, change the root password first. Once we purchase a VPS, the VPS provider will give us a password to log in as root. So that is what I am trying to say here, to change the root password first. If you want, after you change the root password, you can create a user and push that user to sudo privileges pool and use the user to install and configure the supporting packages. I prefer to use the root as such, and I do not create a user with sudo privileges. So it is quite optional and you can do that. So let us look at the PuTTY tool as well as WinSCP and the options that are available for Mac users. I am showing you the PuTTY website, which is www.putty.org, and you can see that PuTTY can be downloaded from this website for free. And what are the alternatives that are available for PuTTY? You can Google and see. Alternatives that are available are Terminal. They say Terminal is a default CLI that is bundled with the Mac, and hence you can use the Terminal CLI, and the procedure is all shown here. And then we have Item 2. There are so many options for Mac OS, so you can use any of these free alternative PuTTY options for using as SSH login. Then the second package that we need to download for Windows users is WinSCP, and the latest version, as I show you, is 5.17. so you can download this from this free website winscp.net. and the alternatives that are available for Mac users is, as Google you can see, we have WinSCP for Windows that I outlined to you just now, CyberDuck for Windows and Mac together, and QFTP for Windows and Mac, Transmit for Mac. So you have many options and you can use whatever you prefer The important thing is that we need to have a SSH client and a GUI based application for transferring files from our development machine to the remote server or VPS. So coming back to our slide, you can now understand PuTTY is a SSH tool, WinSCP is GUI SSH tool for transferring files from local machine to remote server. So as I outlined to you, Mac users, please accordingly you download whatever options you have, and you need to have these two tools installed in your local machine, which may be your laptop or desktop machine. So I am going to launch the PuTTY now, and here I have stored this as my new VP, a brand new VP, which is at 185.96.163.101, which is my IP address. I load it first, which is, I named it as Udemy VPS. I am going to open it now. So it is asking login as, so I give it as root, login as root, enter. So what is the root password? And this is the password that is provided by my VPS service provider. So I am going to enter that. Just right click the mouse and enter. Yes, I am logged into as root. So it's going to ask to change my password. So what is the current password? The same which the VPS service provider given to you. Enter new Unix password. This is your favorite password, what you want to log in future use. So note down this password somewhere or try to remember it so that you will be using it for accessing as root for the VPS. So I am giving my password, retype password, done. I am now inside the root Ubuntu. So I clear my screen first, clear. Okay, let's get a fresh screen. I am going to check my Ubuntu release, or what is the version of my Ubuntu. You can see, as I told you, it's Ubuntu 18.04.4 LTS Bionic version. So this is the version we are going to use for installation of Flask Python website. Now the second application we are going to launch, which is WinSCP. So I am going to launch the WinSCP. So it is asking for new version. So I won't use the new version now. So I am going to log into a new session. So let us do a new session, new website. The host name will be the IP address. So just give the host name as the IP address, and username will be root, and then give your password whatever you have said just now in the PuTTY. Once you are done, you can log in. So this is the first time to log in using WinSCP, so it's going to ask you this question. So just click yes. Once you click yes, you will be taken into the remote directory, which is what we are seeing here. So if you want to click the root, just click here. So you will see all the root with operating systems installed. So in particular, let me draw your attention to what is called a var directory, VAR. So in the var directory, we will be installing all the websites, and then the etc directory will have the Apache coming in once we install it. So in focus, I wanted to tell you about the var as well as the etc. So this is how you log into WinSCP.